Hello, this is CJC Radio. I'm Joshua Seileman.
I'm Carter Lawrence.
And I'm Charles Wyrick.
Today we're going to be talking about season predictions for both the NBA and the NFL.
First, let's talk about the Eastern Conference. I think that the Boston Celtics will be the number 1 seed with Gordon Hayward back and Kyrie Irving. I think they'll be a very good duo. And second seed will probably be the Raptors since they got Kawhi Leonard. And even though they lost DeMar DeRozan, I think Kawhi is still a better player. And there's still Kyle Lowry, and I think their team is pretty solid.
I can see both of those happening too, and I would not be surprised if we actually see the Wizards back in the playoffs this year.
I think that the Celtics will also be the number 1 seed, and Cleveland will drop out of the playoffs after losing LeBron since he's their main leader. Also, I think the Celtics have a chance at winning the NBA championship. The Raptors might sag off and maybe be 3rd or 4th place because the Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard relationship could go anywhere.
Now to the Western Conference, I think the Warriors, who are still stacked this year, will easily take it and the number 1 seed. I can see the Lakers being up there at 2 or 3. Houston Rockets are right there as well.
I kind of disagree with you. I think the Rockets will still be first seed, just like they did last year, because they have Chris Paul and James Harden, who's MVP. So, and then second seed will be the Warriors probably, since they got DeMarcus Cousins and they still have pretty much their whole starting lineup are all stars. So they're probably second seed, and then I think third seed. I mean, maybe Lakers would be 4th seed, but I think third seed would probably be the Thunder, because Westbrook and Paul George, maybe he can bounce back and go fast. Go.
So we have an incoming call. Okay, I think that the Rockets won't be number 1, and the Warriors have a huge powerhouse, and the Lakers might be the 5th or 6th seed because they're still a work in progress. It will be their first year, but I think they'll still make it to the playoffs. And I think San Antonio could still be around 5-6 too.
Now on to the NFL predictions, where in the AFC I can see the Patriots could still be up there. Coming out of the East, I can see possibly the Broncos with their new quarterback, Case Keenum, coming out of the West, and the South is really tight. So, and then Pittsburgh will probably come out.
So we have an incoming call.
Hi, my name's Russell. I'm a big Broncos fan, so I hope Case Keenum does well. So what do you guys think?
I think Case Keenum will do well since an offense is actually being built around him instead of saying, you got these players, now deal with it.
I see him being a really good fit for the Broncos, and I can see him fitting really well with Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, as well as some of the people they've picked up in the draft.
I think he'll do very well because he's a great quarterback, and he made that last-second play against the Saints to win the game, and I think that was pretty cool. And so now let's go.
Thank you for the call.
I think that in the AFC, the Patriots might not make the Super Bowl because they're losing experience. They're cutting some guys like James White and Deion Lewis who have experience in the Super Bowl. So they might be the 3 or 4 seed, but I still think they win their division. In the NFC, I think the Rams have a legitimate Super Bowl chance because their plans look good on paper. So they look to be doing well, but the NFC South also looks good.
I think that in the NFC, I agree. The Rams, I think, will make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, and I think the Patriots will still make the Super Bowl, but will fall to the Rams because they still have Tom Brady. And yeah.
That's our show. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Football Nation. I am Matthew Michaels.
I'm Hudson Hamer.
And I am Tyler Fertel.
We will be discussing different topics and discussing them. Our first topic is who will come on top of the different divisions in football. The first division is the AFC East that consists of the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets. Hudson?
I gotta go with the Patriots. They're better than everybody else in that division. Dolphins don't have quarterback. Bills, Jets, I just don't see it. Patriots are coming out on top again.
Tyler?
I also have to go with the Patriots because even though they lost a few wide receivers and Brandon Cooks and Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman is suspended, I still think they are better than all three other teams with Tom Brady as their quarterback and still a pretty good defense. So I think they'll come on top too.
I feel like just like last season, the Patriots will also come on. I agree with both of them. The Patriots will definitely also come on top. Like Hudson said, the Bills have a decent quarterback.
Oh, we have a caller from...
The Dolphins have a decent quarterback, and the Dolphins don't have that good of a quarterback, and then the Jets also don't have that good of a quarterback. And then Tom Brady being one of the best quarterbacks of all time, I feel like they'll come on top. Our next division, the AFC West, the Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, and Raiders.
I got the Raiders. I don't like what Phillip Rivers is doing in San Diego. I don't think Los Angeles now. I don't think he can pull up that team. And I think Derek Carr's a really, really good young quarterback. So I think that's going to work out for them.
Tyler?
I'm going to go with the Chargers here. I think they have just way too many assets to lose this division. Even though Phillip Rivers is pretty old now and only has like a few more years left, they just have so many players that can just boost them into the playoffs. And Melvin Gordon, Keenan Allen, Phillip Rivers, Casey Hayward, Joey Bosa, and Melvin Ingram. So I think they will win the division.
I agree with Tyler. The Chargers also will come up on top. Derek Carr, being a decent quarterback, won't really compare to the Chargers defense. And the Chargers in all have a great running back and great defense in Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. Our next division, being the AFC North, consists of the Ravens, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers.
Steelers, no doubt.
I'm going to go with the Steelers too here.
I stay with the Steelers too. They have three great people on offense. Okay, those are our divisions. Here's our caller.
Hey guys, I'm a big Browns fan. The Browns, do you not think the Browns are gonna win a game? I think they're 15-0.
I think the Browns definitely could win a game as they got Jarvis Landry and they acquired Jarvis Landry and they have Tyrod Taylor. And I feel like the Browns definitely could come on top on one of in a game. Agree?
Yeah, I think the Browns should definitely win a game. Even though they went 0-16 last year and 1-15 the year before, they got some valuable assets. And like you said, Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon is back but might not be playing. I think they should win a game.
Okay.
I think they could win a game. I don't think they're going to go far in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Thank you for the call. Okay, so starting now our top five quarterbacks. I'll go first. My fifth quarterback, I have a feeling Drew Brees, because he definitely is really old, but definitely is still powering through. My fourth quarterback is gonna go with Andrew Luck. He is back this year, and T.Y. Hilton is a main target for him. He definitely has a lot of power in him. And my third quarterback is going to be Tom Brady. He is definitely one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Though he's also getting older. That's why I'm not putting him on 1 and 2. My second quarterback is going to be Aaron Rodgers, who definitely is also another one of the best quarterbacks, and he has many weapons to choose from. And my best quarterback is going to be Carson Wentz, as he has many people to choose from. You?
I'm going to go with number 5. I'm going to go with Andrew Luck. Number 4, I'm going to go with Drew Brees. Number 3, I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. Number 2, I'll go with Tom Brady. Number 1, I'll go Aaron Rodgers.
And now your choices?
5 Tom Brady, 4 Andrew Luck, 3 Carson Wentz, 2 Drew Brees, and 1 Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you for joining us on Football Nation. Hope to see you on our next show.
Hi, this is Luke Weber from LW and Z-Sports Talk Radio Show. Here is
Zach Desher, and today we are going to talk about the baseball standings.
Let's start off with the American League. Who do you think is going to make it? Oh my gosh, I just messed up. My phone just went off. Okay. Wait. Okay. Wait. Oh my god. Okay. The Red Sox are 9 games ahead of the Yankees. How do you think that'll end?
I think the Red Sox will finish up on top, but I think Yankees are definitely a wild card. No doubt in my mind, they will not be a wild card.
All right, the AL Central. The Indians are 10 games ahead of the Twins.
I think the Indians are going to win. I don't think the Twins really have a chance to catch up to the Indians, and I think the Indians will be the only team in that division to go to the playoffs. What about you?
I mean, 10 games, that's a pretty good amount. The Indians are looking pretty strong in this year. 62-49 is the record. I agree with you. In the AL West, the Astros are only 4 games ahead, or 4.5 games ahead, actually, of the Athletics.
Yeah, I think Astros, the World Series champions, they're going to win the division, but the Athletics are very good, and I think they will definitely be a wild card and could beat some other teams in the playoffs.
Yeah. The National League is a little bit different, though. The problem with the National League is the games are really, really, like, the Phillies are a game and a half over the Braves.
Yeah, no, it's close. I think I'm going to go with the Braves. I think the Braves will come up on top, and I think they're going to win the division.
Caller. I think the Red Sox will definitely make it for the American League. They are definitely quite above every other team. And then the National League, I think the Cubs. I'm rooting for my hometown, and they usually have that little push in the postseason.
I think Astros will go to the World Series, and then I could see the Dodgers going. I think they'll step it up in the playoffs. But I think Astros, Dodgers, maybe another rematch. And if that does happen, I have the Astros winning again.
Yeah. In the NL Central, though, the Cubs are only a game and a half over the Brewers. So you do think, though, that the Brewers are...
I think the Brewers will come up on top against the Cubs. I mean, I think they haven't been in the playoffs, and they haven't gone far, and I think this is their year, and I think they'll step it up when they have to. And I think they'll come up on top.
And then the NL West, with the Diamondbacks, they're a half game ahead of the Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers have been ahead all season, so what do you think?
Diamondbacks are ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks, they're good, but I think the Dodgers are going to win the division, and then the Diamondbacks will be the wild card. And then in the Brewers division, either the Brewers or the Cubs, whoever does not come up on top will beat the Diamondbacks, and then they'll win the wild card.
And what do you think about who's going to be in the NL wild card, and then the
NL?
Yeah.
I think either the Cubs or the Brewers, and then the Diamondbacks or the Dodgers, and for the AL, the Athletics, and I don't know, the other. I think the Athletics will win the wild card.
Mariners?
The Mariners are good. Oh, the Yankees. The Yankees.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm Luke Weber. This is Zach Desher. Signing off. Russell Tabor.
Will Kirker.
Drew Jose Nixon. Hi everybody, welcome to NSR Radio 105.5. Now, we're going to talk about some MLB today. So, first off, the NL West. Arizona Diamondbacks are in the lead right now with the Dodgers 0.5 games behind, or half a game behind. Rockies are 2 games behind, and the Giants are just 6 games behind. The only team out of it right now are the Padres
and the Giants. The Giants are not making the playoffs this year. I'll just say it like that. I mean, they're not passing the Dodgers, the Rockies, and the Diamondbacks. They can't beat all those teams.
There's no chance, but when you look at the games back, it seems possible.
Yeah, it seems possible. Their only shot is at the wild card, and they'd still have to pass 2 of those teams. Plus, they're only getting older, and they've had a lot of injuries this year.
And the Dodgers are in the wild card spot at the moment, and the Rockies are only 2 games behind.
Well,
So-
when you say the Dodgers are in the wild card spot, they're only a half game behind. Personally, I feel like they're going to pass the Diamondbacks
I don't.
easily.
I don't. I think that the Diamondbacks did what they needed to do at the deadline. They got Eddie Escobar, who is a big pickup for them. He's exactly who they needed on that team.
But we got Manny Machado and Brian Dozier.
Yeah, but the Diamondbacks were already better.
All right, I think we have a caller. You're on, caller.
Yeah, so I have a question for the American League East. Do you think the Yankees are going to pull up at top and finish off winning the division, or do you think the Red Sox are going to stay in the struggle the entire time?
There's no way the Yankees are going to come back 9 games, even though the Red Sox have the best record in baseball right now, and the Yankees have the 3rd best record, even though they're 1st and 2nd, and the Yankees are 9 games behind. How do you think that's going to work out for them?
The Yankees are missing the playoffs this year.
The Yankees aren't
sorry.
the Yankees aren't missing the
They're-
playoffs.
They're the coldest team in baseball.
They're
The
gonna-
team that's trying to pass them is the hottest team in baseball. In the A's, they're going to be the 2nd wild card at best if they don't get passed by the Mariners.
They
Then
at
they'll miss the
least
playoffs.
that first wild card.
No.
They're
no,
in the
no,
first
no.
wild
The A's
card.
are passing them. The A's are passing them.
The A's are not.
Just you wait. The A's are passing them.
Okay, so the Yankees are. Last time I checked, they were 4 games ahead in the top wild card spots. So, thoughts on that?
So, I still think, besides what you're saying, I still think they get first wild card spot and at least get 1 game.
But what I'm
At
saying
least
is
win 1
right.
game.
They can't win without Judge. Judge is injured right now. They're just gonna keep slipping. While the A's, who have won 6 straight, are playing the Dodgers, who have the most injured pitching staff in the MLB right now.
That's not true. Tampa Bay doesn't even have a starting rotation. They don't
yes,
have
they do.
That's not
yes,
wrong.
they do.
No, they literally
They have
have
2
no
starting pitchers.
They have 2
Sergio Romo, and then they have that other guy with long hair.
Are you talking?
Sergio Romo is a closer. He started out as a closer as in the Giants. All right, let's move on to who do you think is going to be in the playoffs? So Dodgers are thinking of getting in there, and we could see maybe 3 NL West teams making it to the playoffs again this year. Thoughts on that?
I got the Diamondbacks in the West. Dodgers and Braves are the 2 wild cards.
Yeah, I think the Braves are going to make it.
Phillies
No
are going
doubt.
to win the East, which is sad because I'm a Braves fan. And I got
But
the Brewers
this-
in the Central. I don't see the Cubs here.
What about the Nationals, though? How about the Nationals
The Nationals,
in the NL East?
like they finally, Bryce Harper decided maybe getting a hit was a fine idea. But I still don't see him like really getting that far.
I honestly feel like they'll have 2nd wild card spot instead of Braves.
No.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman's just too good of a hitter. I mean, who are you going to put against him? He hits better against lefties than righties.
All right. So, who do you think is going to be the MVP this year?
MVP.
Wait,
of
AL or
the
NL?
league.
MVP of the league.
Arenado in the NL, Betts in the AL.
Not
Now,
Mets.
who in the
Mike,
entire league?
Mike Trout AL.
Who in the entire league?
Mike Trout needs to play on a good team. What's going to happen this offseason?
He's gonna get traded.
Machado and Harper are going to Anaheim. They're going to have a big 3. But for now, his team sucks. He's not going to be able to win.
All right, that'll do it all for us. It is now NSR Radio 105.5 signing off.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to On the Air. My name is Noah Lachek with my partners Jai and Max. Today, very interesting in the off season for football. We're going to talk about a lot of trade rumors, some power rankings. First, we'll start out with the power rankings. At number 1, we have the defending champions, Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to ask Max, this team is absolutely outstanding, with that Carson Wentz, picked up Alshon Jeffrey a few months ago. How do you think Eagles can react to the next season?
I'm more worried about Carson Wentz. Is he going to get injured again? Last year I'm pretty sure they still have Nick Foles, but if Carson Wentz gets injured, I'm looking worried for him that he might get traded or go to another team. But you got to look. This guy's going to have a successful season with injury, without. Watch him get up in the passing yards, in the rushing yards. This guy was in North Dakota State, went to North Dakota State for a reason. He is a successful football player. What do you think about it, Jai?
About the Eagles.
Well, I think winning last year definitely gave them some confidence. First time must be very exciting for them. Well, I think they certainly have some very good players. Yeah. I think they have a pretty good chance of winning this year.
Who's number 2 in those power rankings?
Let's go to one of the best defensive teams. We got Ramsey on that one, Blake Bortles. We welcome the Jaguars at number 2 seed, projected to get second place. Eagles, Jaguars would be a pretty nice, those 2 great teams. But let's talk about the Jaguars' strength is probably the defense on this side. Max, let's ask about the defense. How do you think that's going to bring to the football world this season?
When you come in number 2 in those power rankings, you know that you're doing something right. But look at this offense. Their running back is so successful. Leonard Fournette came as a rookie last year out of LSU, and he was the success story last year. But yes, this defense is definitely the heart of this team. They need to acquire some people, some free agents maybe. They have Allen Robinson as their number 1 wide receiver. But I'm interested to see what happens with these Jaguars. Win or lose, they're going to have a good season.
So to make it go a little faster, we're going to skip over to number 3 seed. Jai, what about the Patriots? Faced the Eagles in the Super Bowl last year. Tom Brady getting a lot older this season. What do you think what he will bring to the team this season?
I'm not exactly so sure yet. Yeah, as you said about his age, he is getting pretty old. But okay.
Dry, do you think he's going to use last season's Super Bowl loss as motivation, or?
Probably yes.
Probably, but
yeah.
About the Patriots, you were saying that the Jaguars had a pretty good defense. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you look at the
defense.
Patriots last year, they didn't have a bad defense either against the Eagles, so they might be a contender also.
Okay, so at the 4th spot and 5th spot and 6th spot, we have the Rams at number 4. At number 5, we got the Vikings. 6, we got the Saints. 7, Falcons. 8, Packers. And then we're 9th. Let's talk about the Steelers for one quick second. The hottest and best wide receiver on the spot is Antonio Brown. And we do have a caller coming in. Let's see.
What's your name, caller,
say.
and what do you have to say?
I am Carter Williamson from Miami, and I wanted to ask you who you would think, since Brandon Cooks is gone from the Patriots, who would be Brady's number 1 target?
That's a very great question. What'd you say your name was? Okay. What did you say your name was?
Carter Williamson.
Okay, very great question there. Brandon Cooks was gone. Patriots, you're talking about wide receivers. He has a great tight end, Gronkowski here. But wide receiver, they could be a little short on there. What do you guys think on wide receiver?
You gotta not like, if you're a Patriots fan, you can't enjoy this suspension with Julian Edelman. But Chris Hogan, he's definitely be getting higher and higher in his game, making some spectacular catches and really succeeding.
Okay, so I think your pick here is Chris Hogan. That will be all for On the Air with my partners, Max,
Jai.
and I'm Noah Legcheck, saying goodbye to you all.
Beckett Simpson.
Luke Lapidus.
And I'm Carter Williamson.
So here with Sports Talk Radio, today we're going to be talking about the question of who do we think, at least, are going to make it to the Super Bowl and have success in the next season in the NFL. So who do you think is going to be good?
Well, without Brandon Cooks, I think the Patriots, they still have a bunch of talented wide receivers, but Brandon Cooks was kind of their leader for that. So I think that they might target Gronkowski more, and maybe even Chris Hogan. And so I don't know if the Patriots will do as great this year, but I think the Philadelphia Eagles are still going to be great because obviously they made it to the Super Bowl last year and they have Carson Wentz back. They don't have Blunt anymore, but they still have talented running backs with Corey Clement and Jai. So I have strong predictions that the Eagles can make it back to the championship. What do you think, Luke?
Well, I think a team to look out for is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're a threat, passing with Roethlisberger, receiving with Brown, and running with Bell. Bell obviously had a big year last year, but the Patriots just found a way to make it to the Super Bowl again after beating Atlanta in the Super Bowl before. But I think this year will be the Steelers' year, and this is the year that they finally get past the Patriots offense and Tom Brady.
Oh, good predictions, guys. One team I think we should look out for is the Los Angeles Rams. They have got a lot of assets in people like Aqib Talib, Ndamukong Suh, veterans that can help grow the young talent they have in Todd Gurley, Jared Goff. So I think they're really a person to look out for because I think the Rams are very, very underrated. So how about you, Ron?
Well, the Rams and Steelers are both very talented teams, especially the Rams. Another prediction, well, the Titans don't seem that great this year either, or any other year. They have not been doing good, so I doubt they would make it far. The Chargers still have Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen, which is a good pair, so I think they could make it pretty far in their second season in LA, so they could make it far. And the Packers, do they still have Aaron Rodgers or not?
Yeah, they still have them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so Aaron Rodgers is still a very great quarterback. And are there any other teams you have in mind, Luke?
I was thinking the Minnesota Vikings,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it looks like we actually have a caller coming in.
Hey, this is Bill. I was just wondering, I don't think I heard anyone really mention the Jaguars. You think they have a really good shot? I think their defense is amazing.
Yes, actually, the Jaguars, they have lockdown defense, and that's what saves them from people like the Dolphins, because they just shut down everybody in the right. And on the offensive side, you have people like Leonard Fournette and Blake Bortles who can run the ground and pound and just chip into the defense of enemies. So, yeah, I think that's really good. And then on the defensive side, you have someone like Jalen Ramsey, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, who can just shut down any wide receiver, maybe the best talent, like someone like Antonio Brown.
Oh, it looks like we have another caller. Hello?
Hello?
Hi. What's your question?
Hi, so you said the Rams and Steelers I heard you said they were both great teams and the Rams were underrated.
Yes.
So I wanted to know in the head-to-head matchup who would win.
That is a very good question. In head-to-head matchup, I would have to say the Steelers because they just have someone like Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger. They have a vet in Ben Roethlisberger, and he's still an amazing player. They have defense. They have running back and Le'Veon Bell, one of the best in the league. So even though Rams are a very good team, I would have to go with the Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have to go with Steelers for all the reasons he said. They also have a very strong defense, and I think they have a chance of making it far. So, Luke, what do you think?
I think the Steelers too. They can just beat every defense anyway. And what's your guys' Super Bowl predictions for this upcoming season?
Well, I wish I could say that, but we have to wrap it up here at Sports Talk Radio. If you want to call us like this guy did, just 1-800-SPORTS-TALK-RADIO. Again, 1-800-SPORTS-TALK-RADIO. This is Beckett Simpson, Carter, and Luke, and, well, see ya.
Hello everyone, this is Sports Talk Radio Show. I'm Zachary Goldstein and I'm here with my partners
Matthew Mirich.
Elijah Nasseri.
and today we will be talking about, Matthew, what do you think will happen to the Astros after Springer goes on the DL?
Well, I think that Springer was one of the main components of that team, and that's going to hurt them a lot that George Springer is out because he hit 6 home runs in the World Series. Elijah, what do you think about this?
I think this will affect the Astros very much, and as soon as Springer's done with the injuries, and maybe Astros will draft him back, but until then, the Astros are gonna it hurts their team, and Astros.
Zach, what do you think about this?
Well, now they have 4 of their top players injured. They also have Altuve injured, who's one of their main players also. But they do have a great backup for Springer, Jake Marisnick, who did rob a home run from Chris Taylor after Springer got taken out in the game back on Sunday. And now we'll be moving on to our next topic. How do you think Odell Beckham Jr. will do coming back from that big injury last year?
Well, I think the Giants are a good team. Odell Beckham was one of their best receivers, though. It's going to hurt not to have him on the team, but I still think they can be a good team if they work together.
Yeah, so the Giants are looking to pay him under $16 million because they're not expecting big numbers from him. But I do think they will be great with him because I think he'll come back and have a great season.
Basically,
what do you think
he's a game
Elijah?
changer.
Yeah.
So for the Giants, that they want to come back and help the Giants in the NL West. We just have to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, he only played 4 games last year out of the 16 in the regular season. But it was a big change for the season. They didn't do well. The Giants went 4-12 with the injury that OBJ had.
On to our next topic. How do we think the Dodgers are going to do this season with Manny on their team?
Well, they had a great trade deadline. They got Machado and Dozier. The one bad thing is they got John Axford, who did give up 6 runs in only 1/3 of an inning. And I think we have a caller. Hello.
I just have a question. How good do you think the Giants will do this season since Odell Beckham coming back from his injury?
I think that he personally might affect the Giants greatly, and maybe he's got to prove up there that he can get more than $16 million a year, and best of luck for him.
And with Odell Beckham coming back from the Giants, do you think that the Giants will make the playoffs? And if so, how far will they get into the playoffs?
No, I don't think they'll make the playoffs after that bad year last year.
they only went 4-12, had only 4 wins, but Odell only played 4 of the games of the season, so we'll see how they do, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll go about 7-9. Matthew, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with them. I don't think the Giants are going to do that good this year because of Odell getting injured. But do you guys have anything else you want to say?
No, I think that'll wrap it up here at the Sports Broadcasting Center. I am Zachary Goldstein here with my partners Matthew Marich and Elijah Nasir.
Sorry.
Nasir.
I'm Xavier Vollinger here with
Tyler Shaver.
and
Abraham Friedman.
this is the NBA angle. All right, our first discussion will be who are the top 3 teams in the NBA. Tyler?
I believe that number 1, of course, is the Warriors because their team is stacked with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green. Steph Curry can be hitting open guys like left and right. Klay Thompson can shoot from the outside. Kevin Durant's going to get his points some way or another. And Draymond Green is definitely a big threat on defense.
Well, in my opinion, I also have the Warriors. I also have the Warriors coming in at number 1. The sheer amount of talent on this team, along with the coaching and just the culture of the team, is just too much for any NBA team to overcome. They have Stephen Curry, a 2-time MVP, first ever unanimous MVP, and the greatest shooter of all time, in my opinion. But I think there's no discussion on that. They have Klay Thompson, the best shooter, one of the best shooters in the NBA, and one of the best defenders in the NBA, who's able to take over for Curry's lack of defensive on-ball ability. At the 3 spot, they have Kevin Durant, one of the only players who's 7 feet tall, who can handle the ball, shoot it from 3, and the 4, they have Draymond Green, just the glue guy who plays defense. He doesn't have to score to make an impact on the game. And of course, they got DeMarcus Cousins now, who, even though he might not play that much this season, and he might not play really well because of the Achilles tear, if he reaches his potential, he's like a 25-13 guy. At number 2, I have.
I know, but if you want
Okay, go.
I totally agree with number 1. Who do you guys have at number 2, though?
You go.
Avery?
So at number 2, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. I believe that they're a young upcoming team, and this year is their breakout season. Lonzo Ball, I feel like, will be playing really well, dishing the ball to people. This year, he will be much more confident because he's not a rookie and he knows now how the NBA works. Adding that new addition, LeBron James, is really going to make this team strong and spectacular this season, and I believe that they have a chance to give the Warriors a run for their money.
On the other side of the NBA, I have the Boston Celtics. They have so much sheer talent, and along with the coaching, they're kind of built like the Warriors. Not like exactly like them because they have so much more depth and a lot less superstars, but they have great coaching. They have a great point guard. Their entire team, they're so stacked from top to bottom. They have so much depth. Okay, they have Kyrie Irving running the point. They have Jason Tatum, who might take the next step. They have Jaylen Brown, who might take the next step. They have so many players ready that might take the next step, that even if half of them do, then it's going to be great.
All right, and I say Houston at number 2, and then quickly, who do we have at number 3?
I have at number 3, I have the Boston Celtics. I feel like Jaylen Brown could be a really nice addition to the Boston Celtics, as well as Kyrie Irving. I feel like that team is definitely a special team in the NBA.
My number 3 spot, I have the Houston Rockets. Signing Melo was a very questionable move in my opinion, but we'll get into that later. And this team is definitely going to be a lot worse than they were last year, because they lost key pieces like Trevor Ariza, Luke Mbah-a-Moute. Chris Paul's 1 year older. But don't forget, last year this was a 65-win team with Chris Paul missing substantial time. This year, I think they win about 58 games, and they get the 2nd seed in the conference.
All right, and the next thing that we'll be talking about is the the MVP race in the NBA. I personally have Giannis Antetokounmpo as my MVP. Tyler?
I believe that Kawhi Leonard is going to be an MVP because I feel like Damian Lillard can definitely help Kawhi Leonard get some nice shots up. And this year, Kawhi Leonard, I feel like he's just going to play great. He's right now a top 7 NBA player in the league right now. And I believe that this year he could do even better with Damian Lillard dishing him some passes, making outside jumpers and all that stuff.
I have LeBron James is my MVP. With this Lakers team currently built, I do not think they're going to be a championship contender because simply they just don't have necessarily talent unless they all become superstars. So I have LeBron James having to carry this team into a top 4 seed with...
Oh, it looks like that we have a caller on the line.
Hey, this is Bill. Very quickly, I just wanted to ask. I didn't hear any mention of the Thunder. Paul George stayed and Carmelo Anthony's out. I think that makes them better. They might be a contender in the West.
I think they could be a contender, but I mean, I feel like the Rockets, Warriors, and Celtics, my top 3 teams, are better contenders.
I disagree with you because last year they won, how many games? Like 48. And this year they've lost Carmelo Anthony, which, Carmelo was not the best player to have on a team like that, but everyone's getting 1 year older, and I don't think they're good.
I think that that could be that the Thunder actually is going to get better with Carmelo Anthony leaving because Carmelo Anthony is someone who takes the ball away. Westbrook and Paul George could definitely work some chemistry this season. Well,
all right, that's all the time we have, though. This was the NBA Angle. I'm Xavier Vollinger with...
I'm Tyler Shaver.
And goodbye.
Hi, I'm Zach Bennett. I'm here with my partners,
Archie Windsor
And Jack Waterstone.
and we're here to talk about the top 5 players in the NBA. Who do you think they are, Archie?
I think number 1 would have to be LeBron James. There's nobody else right now that they're comparing to Michael Jordan, so 1 would have to be LeBron.
What do you think?
My number 1 has to be LeBron James because LeBron James has played with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and sure, he has Kyrie Irving, but he is going up against probably one of the best teams I've ever seen in my life, and he decides that even though he's down 3-1, he will beat this team, and he beats them, and I just have nothing else to say about him. And he played with the Miami Heat. He led them to 2 championships. He's just all around, in my opinion, the best player of all time.
Can't argue with LeBron. What do you think? Who do you think's number 2, Archie?
I'd have to go number 2, James Harden, the reigning MVP, and he just carried a Rockets team with Chris Paul, with all those other guys. But I think if he has another great season, we could see the Rockets in the finals, maybe.
What do you think, Jack?
My number 2, I've been deciding between these 2 players, and I have to go with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is just an all-around amazing player. A lot of people say he betrayed his team, which, yes, that is true, but he is going for what he thinks is best in his career.
Archie, what's your number 3?
My number 3 would have to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a very young but very talented player from Greece. I think that in a couple of years, we've had Kobe compared to MJ and now LeBron. I think soon we'll have Giannis comparing to MJ.
That's a good point. What do you think, Jack?
I think my number 3 is definitely Stephen Curry. He is probably the best shooter of all time. He beat his own record in 3-pointers, and he did not just beat it, he crushed it.
What do you think, Archie?
Yeah, I agree, but I think number 4 should be Kevin Durant. As Jack said, he is a great player, and probably he had great seasons, and on the Warriors, he was the Finals MVP for the 2nd straight year, so you can't go wrong with KD.
Okay, so you think Stephen Curry is the better Warrior?
I think Kevin Durant is the best Warrior currently. Yeah.
Okay. Now, who's your number 5 player?
And it looks like we're getting a caller.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, I'm just calling to say that I think LeBron James is the best player in the league.
Okay, thank you.
I would agree with that because LeBron 8 straight finals appearances, shooting for 9, and there's just no one better right now than LeBron.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Okay.
Were you saying something? Okay, well, bye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye. So, as I was saying, I think my number 4 would have to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is a big man who coming into this league wanting to play point guard. He technically should have been a center, but to compromise, they put him at small forward, and I think he has just been one of the best small forwards ever.
Yeah, I would agree. But with my number 5 is another small forward. It's Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi was just traded to the Raptors for DeMar DeRozan, and I think, and the only reason he was traded was he wanted out of San Antonio. He was a Finals MVP in 2014 when the Spurs won, and I think that he'll do even better without injuries next year.
Okay, that'll wrap up this. Okay, what's your number 5?
My number 5 was Archie's number 2 is James Harden. I think James Harden is a great player, and he's big enough to be in the top 5.
All right. That wraps up this topic. Now, the next question. Who do you think are the top 5 teams in the NBA? Archie?
I have to go 1, the Golden State Warriors, because, now they added a 5th All-Star in DeMarcus Cousins.
Jack?
My number 1 has to be the Golden State Warriors. I don't think there's another better team in the NBA. This might be the greatest team ever built.
Okay, Archie, who do you have as your number 2 team?
I have the Houston Rockets. With James Harden and Chris Paul, I think that they could really do some damage in the West.
Archie, who's your number 3?
The Boston Celtics.
Who's your number 4?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Who do you think is the 5th best team?
The Philadelphia 76ers.
Jack, what do you think about your number 2?
So my number 2 has to be the Boston Celtics. My number 3 will have to be the Los Angeles Lakers. My number 4, let's see here. I'm going to go with, it used to be the Cleveland Cavaliers, but now I'm going to go with the Philadelphia 76ers. And for my number 5, let's see here. I'll just go with, the Houston Rockets.
Okay, and that wraps this up. I'm Zach Bennett with my partners,
Archie Windsor
and Jack Waterstone.
Good night.
Liam Enriquez.
Declan Nay.
Rashad Vagewala.
Hello and welcome to ESPN Sports Talk, where today we'll be discussing, a lot of people have discussed this, LeBron James to the LA Lakers. So we will have all of our opinions on it. So first, what's your opinion on LeBron James overall to the LA Lakers?
LeBron James is a very good pickup for the Lakers. Obviously, he's the best player, but more because there are a lot of young talent on the Lakers. He can really develop them and turn them into really nice players.
Declan?
Well, the Kyrie Irving trade from Cleveland to Boston gave the Celtics a boost, and with the addition of LeBron James, one of the best players in the game for the next 4 years.
If not the best.
If not the best, but he'll be with the Lakers for 4 years. I think it's safe to say that the Lakers are one of the teams to beat right now in the West, and they'll probably make the postseason with him.
Yeah, personally I think obviously the Lakers were obviously a very good team. Then they went through a rebuild stage and they've just got LeBron James, because LA Lakers is not like a random team has just bought LeBron James. It's LA Lakers. They have a big Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant. They have a big history
with winning tournaments with big players, and they couldn't. It's not like this flunk with coming last and all of that could have gone on for like the next 10 years. They had to at least do something, and they were smart. They bought LeBron James, the best, in my opinion, the best player right now. So yeah, do you think LeBron James coming to the LA Lakers could win them the championship?
I do not think this year, because there's still lots of young players like Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram, but in the coming years, LeBron will develop those players, and they could become a very volatile lineup, and they could pretty much win it.
If not, how far do you think they can get this season?
I think at max, probably the Western Conference semis, but they have a chance to go deep.
Well, all I can say is that, like, with LeBron and with those young, good players, they'll make the playoffs.
All right. So LeBron James has left the Cleveland Cavaliers. Do you think the Cleveland Cavaliers can still do things, can still get to the playoffs, and still be a good team without LeBron James? Do you think?
They just signed Kevin Love to a 5-year deal. I think they're trying to build around Kevin Love, an old veteran player, to develop some young talent. Again, I don't think they'll make the postseason this year, but next year, look out, because they're going to have a good young draft pick plus Kevin Love.
Well, the Cavaliers still made it to the playoffs last year, even with the trading of Kyrie Irving to Boston. So, I'm not really sure.
Well, I think what I want a lot of teams to do is kind of pick off the Warriors, pick off the players like Iguodala. Since they've just signed Cousins, now Iguodala is probably going to sit on the bench a little more. So I want maybe like another team to like buy Iguodala, because Iguodala is a phenomenal player, and I want maybe some other teams to like buy some of the good players off of the Warriors. So maybe like someone like maybe the Cavs could buy someone from the Warriors and get a strong, solid player in there. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna call in. We're gonna call in to someone.
We're going to have someone on the phone right now.
Hello. So I just wanted to say, on the point of the Cavaliers, remember LeBron James is not in the East anymore, so I think the Cavs do make the playoffs, because that's an 8 seed, even though he's on the team last year. And I think Colin Sexton might be a very good young player. They got a really good draft pick in Colin Sexton. So I think that they might be able to make the playoffs. Maybe it's a 6 seed or so. It'd still be a decent team.
Yeah, it still will. Especially if they go and try, like I said, buy a big player. They really need to do that. What are your thoughts on what he said?
Well, I'm still not sure. Well, they have a good draft pick, a really good draft pick, but they were able to survive even when Kyrie Irving was traded to Boston, and also let's see if they survive with LeBron going to the Lakers.
Yep, let's see. I really don't know what will happen. And like he said, with Colin Sexton, he's a middle-class first-round pick. So I don't know if that's enough just with Kevin Love to do well in the playoffs. They might make it in J.R. Smith. Yeah, they might make it to make the 8 seed, maybe. But if they don't, maybe next year with another young dynamic talent, they'll make it.
All right, we're gonna have to wrap this up. I just want to say something first. I don't agree with the Cavs selling Kyrie Irving, then selling LeBron James in like less than a year. It's just their two main talents, and I don't think they should have done that. So yeah, that's been Sports Talk Radio on ESPN. See you later.
Welcome to Sports Talk Radio, and I'm Hugo Traverso.
I'm Dominic Malenzi.
And I'm Max Langer, and today we are going to talk about the NFL season predictions.
So, guys, the Bills look pretty strong with their new quarterback, Josh Allen from Wyoming. And the 49ers have their rising star, Jimmy Garoppolo, with the Patriots having Tom Brady. But what do you guys think about who's going to make the playoffs?
Well, certainly the Patriots are still the team to beat, even though they lost some key wide receivers this offseason, just because Gronk and Brady are always going to be a threat. They still have Brady, they still have Belichick, they still have Gronk, and those three players are capable of beating any team, and they showed that in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to say the Patriots are still the team to beat right now. Another team I think is going to have a good showing this year are the New York Giants. They just picked up college phenom Saquon Barkley in the draft. And they still have Eli Manning, who is still a force to be reckoned with. So I think the Giants will have their passing game and their run game this year pretty good. So I think they are going to be contenders.
Well, certainly a contender for me in the AFC would probably be one of the upsetters in the postseason, the Jacksonville Jaguars, with Leonard Fournette and all the players are there on their team. They are a dynamite team and a team to be reckoned with.
So I think that the Patriots are really going to have a good season. Tom Brady's getting old, but we'll see what he thinks after this. And now we are going to take a caller. Okay, anybody call in, please, and give us your... Yes, hello, hi.
I just want to confirm your opinion on the Giants.
Oh, yeah,
What do you mean by they'll have their passing this season?
Well, Eli Manning is still a very good quarterback, even though he's pretty old. He's the brother and the son of a really good quarterback. He's got that in his bones, and he's really good. And he's won a couple of Super Bowls, and he could hit Saquon Barkley on the passing game too. And I think he's going to be pretty good this year.
And just for their wide receivers, do you think they will do well this season too?
I don't know. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr., he kind of had an off year last year. He wasn't super incredible, as we all thought he was going to be, like #1 wide receiver in the NFL. So I think the wide receivers are good, but Eli Manning can hit Odell if he has a better year this year, and Saquon Barkley can also catch some passes.
Okay, thank you for the information.
Yes, thank you for calling.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so let's get our Super Bowl predictions in. What do you think?
Super predictions, it's going to be, I think the Eagles are going to go back to the Super Bowl. And I actually don't think the Patriots are going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm just kidding. It's the Patriots. It's going to be a Super Bowl rematch between the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Well, I think the Vikings are definitely a contender, and the Jacksonville Jaguars look pretty good. So that'll just wrap it up.
I think that the 49ers look very good, and the Patriots and Jaguars are very good looking for the Super Bowl. Thank you. That'll be for all. I'm saying farewell. I'm Hugo Traverso. Farewell from my partners and I. My partners.
Dominic Malenzi.
Max Slager.
Thank you. Hold on.
Duke Araputo.
Piper Green.
Madison Turner.
Okay, so I'm here in UCLA Pro Sports Talk Radio, and I'm here with
Madison Turner
and Piper Green.
And we're here to talk about some of our bold predictions for the sports year this year.
I honestly think with Carmelo Anthony going to the Rockets just got a ton worse. They traded Darius Schroeder from the Atlanta Hawks to the Oklahoma Thunder and Carmelo Anthony went to the Rockets. Of course, the Rockets with them being a really good team. I think Carmelo Anthony is not very eligible and he has been getting worse and worse. And I think he's kind of been overrated in the past. But also, as the Rockets go in, they're still going to have a great team, but I still think they got a little bit worse. But I'm going to hand it over to Duke and Madison, who are going to give their predictions about NFL and what teams to be afraid of and what teams that are on the line and on the fence still.
So before we go into the NFL, we're going to continue talking about the NBA. Of course, the Rockets could be worse, or they could be getting better. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to hand it over to Madison Turner right now to talk about what she thinks is going to happen in the NBA.
Well, thank you, Duke. Well, with Carmelo Anthony, he got traded to the Rockets, or to the Hawks, and then the Hawks waived him, and the Rockets signed him for $2 million and the veteran minimum. I think Carmelo Anthony is towards the end of his career, but I think the Rockets signed him because he'll attract more fans, because he does have a solid career. And I think the Thunder got Dennis Schroeder, who is a very good asset to the team. And, the Hawks just want to clear some space, and that's what they did. And so I think all teams got their fair thing that they wanted to do. But, the Rockets may be a little worse because they just signed Carmelo, but I don't think he'll be playing very much. But all teams did very well.
Yes, so the NBA, the Western Conference, used to just be the Rockets and the Warriors, but now the Rockets are in the shadow of the Lakers and the Warriors, both teams with star lineups. Now that's it for the NBA. We're going to talk about the NFL and some of our predictions. One of my predictions for the NFL is that the Giants will have a better season than they did last season because they're building a team around Eli Manning. They're building a running game, which is something that they haven't had in a long time. And Eli Manning will be able to use his offense and use the tools that he has to win. And I think that the Giants will be a good team in the NFC, and I think that the Jaguars will be a very good team because they have Leonard Fournette and some great running backs. They also have a great defense who they did amazing, unexpectedly great last year. And for more on NFL predictions, switch it over to Madison Turner.
I do think the Giants will be much better this season. And I think what Duke said was correct, and I just can't wait to see what the NFL brings all the fans this year.
Okay, so now after that, we're ready to take calls from all of you people out there. Is there any callers?
This is Joe from Kansas City. Alex Smith out, you bring in Patrick Mahomes. Do you think the Chiefs have a chance? I think they're still a great team. They're still the same team, just a quarterback change.
Yeah, I think that the Chiefs, they have a great running game in Kareem Hunt, and rising star, still young. He could play for many more years to come, potentially be as good as Jamal Charles. They also they're a very fast young team with Tyreek Hill and all of their amazing players. I think that the Chiefs will be very good, and they are a threat. I think Patrick Mahomes has some experience, and he will be trained under Andy Reid and Alex Smith, and that will make him better as a player. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Duke. I think you said it all, and I agree with you. I can't wait to see the Chiefs also, what they bring, and both quarterbacks and their running game.
Okay, thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay, that is it for tonight. We will see you tomorrow night to talk more about our predictions. Good night.
I'm Madison Turner.
I'm Piper Green.
I'm Duke Araputo.
Bye.
Matthew Chavez.
Timmy Neiman.
Here we go.
Hello guys, you're listening to the Big Baller Show on 105 AM. If you guys would like to call in, call number 1-800-1-BALLER. I'm here with Matthew Chavez, and we're going to have three major topics to talk about national sports. First one, LeBron. Matthew, how will he fit into LA?
Well, last season he wasn't really surrounded by too many great players, and there were kind of not so well, and they didn't really have too many rookies. Well, this time when he's in LA, he has a lot of young talent, a lot of shooters such as Kuzma and Ingram, and he has a star in Lonzo, and then Rondo, which is a good veteran. I think he can really do well just being in that starting rotation. They'll have a chance at the playoffs.
And do you think it'll take a long time for them to get adapted to each other, or do you think the Lakers will get on a slow start, or will they start fast?
I think it might take some time just because LeBron is a new team, and then the rookies have to adjust to a guy that mainly needs the ball.
Okay, well, let's move on. Both of us are going to share who we think will be in the World Series and who's going to be the contenders. Matthew, you want to start off?
Well, I think for the AL, the Red Sox have been on fire. They're way over the Yankees, so I think they might clutch it in the playoffs and make it all the way to the World Series.
Yeah, personally, I think Red Sox, they just usually they can't make it all the way except for the 3 years that they have won it. So I think it's going to be either the Indians or the Astros. And on the West, I think it'll be
National League.
Yeah, National League, sorry. I think it'll be probably wherever team comes out of the NL West will probably make, I think that's just the dominating factor.
Yeah.
Okay, so our third and final topic is going to be Carmelo Anthony and how will he fit into the Rockets, and is he too old to play well, and will he be the same criminal that we've seen?
I think he'll be the same as the Thunder. He might get the ball sometimes, or I think he will get the ball, but he won't really pass as much as we saw what he did with the Thunder. He made a couple plays, but he mainly tried to score the ball on his own and do his own.
And we got a caller, Daniel. Take it away.
Hi. When you said he's going to be the same as with the Thunder, is that going to be good? Because I don't think that worked very well in OKC. So do you see this as a team, they were first in the West last year, do you see them being, a team with home field advantage in that first round? Because I don't know if this is going to work.
Well, since he's kind of like a selfish player, maybe it might not work, but you never know because the season hasn't started yet.
And I think about the Thunder, him being the same with the Thunder, as with the Thunder, I feel like he has the talent. He's going to be the talent to. He has the talent. It's just about will he fit in? Because he's Carmelo Anthony and he's done great things in his career. Anything to add to that?
No, I think that just pretty much covers that right there. So, on to the next one. I wanted to come back to the World Series one.
Yeah.
The Yankees also have been known for their World Series titles, and I kind of realize now that they probably have a chance at this because last year they went pretty close and they almost got it, and now they have a lot of power hitters, Stanton and Torres. They could actually have a chance.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I sort of agree with you. I just feel like the Red Sox we'll see what the matchups are, but the Yankees are going to have to get past the wild card game. They'll be at home, but we'll see who they're going to play. It looks like it could be the A's or the Mariners, not necessarily a tough matchup. Or not necessarily tough, but we'll see. So thank you guys for listening to the Big Baller Show on 105 AM. Alongside Matthew Chavez, I'm Timmy Neiman. Good night.